What's going on, fellas? We're going to look at 4x1 empty and formations that are unique, that quarters has a little bit of trouble too. So let's just take a look at quarters coverage, and we're going to take a look at the different type of empty formations you can get. So you need to learn the names of the formations. Madden tells you what they are. So empty base, okay, we're good. Nothing really to worry about there. Empty base flex, let's open this up. All right, trio. So there's a new one. Stack has always been there. Chips is a new one. We'll talk about that quickly. And also, let's take a look at, all right, so there's chips. Anything that has chips in it, you're pretty good, okay? They're all in the same category, all right? Empty halfback wide is no different than just any regular empty. And empty quads is the one that we got to talk about. So we'll start the video off with that. The very first play, I'm surprised they kept this in the game, to be honest with you, is just vertical double under. All right, so this play right here is the play that makes quarters coverage have a lot of problems. The game bugs out against it. I don't understand why they haven't fixed this yet. It was one of the most easy touchdowns you can throw against quarters. So let's just take a look at this 4x1 formation and what the problem is as we go through the replay. I talked about this in my stream last night. Maybe people didn't catch that stream. It's okay. That's why I wanted to focus on it. But right now to the front side, okay, our front side corner, he's playing mod. So he's going to take one vertical. That's fine. The nickel, he's playing quarter flat. Two works out but back in, so he kind of tries to squeeze with it. That's fine. Then we have a 3 receiver hook player here. Okay, he's going to try to stay inside of 3. Then all of a sudden he works inside too far to become number 4, and then the new number 3 is there, so he's actually in good shape. So the safety back there, his rule in quarters is to play 2-to-1. So 2 doesn't go vertical, so he goes to 1, right? You wish that in the game they would actually allow him to be, this is the one time that we need the safety. I've been talking about this for a while because the safety seems like he's not that aggressive. He kind of sits back, but for some reason he just doesn't recognize number 4. So in his brain, it's like there's no number 4. All right. And then also on the backside, our poach safety, who usually comes over and looks for a deep crossing route, is not doing that. Okay. He's not poaching. It's like he doesn't recognize for some reason that number 4 is there. All right. So the game is just not recognizing number 4 at all. It's almost like he's not a player on the field. And that's the problem. Okay. So if you run quarters versus this type of 4x1, match rules come into play. However, they are not recognizing number 4. So what do we have to do? We have to make an adjustment anytime you get this type of formation. Now, the first adjustment you can do, I think the most sound adjustment that I would do is I'm going to user, all right? I'm not going to use the quarter flat defender. I'm actually going to use this one here. So he's a little bit out of line here, but I have to watch number 4, okay? And if he runs anything vertical down the field, I got to take him. So I might even back up to about 7 yards. And if I see any instance of him running, I got to try to run and get over the top of him. It's not easy to do. You might even have to back up a little bit more with your middle linebacker. So I'm going to take care of it myself. Anytime I get this formation, I still can play quarters, but I got to watch to see if he goes vertical. If he does go vertical, you're the only one that can cover him in the game right now. You can also take the backside safety and maybe put him in man coverage. I don't like that so much because if number 4 runs any other route, then you've now just taken away one of your deep defenders. I haven't tried the inside third technique. Somebody talked about this last night, putting him in inside third. So let's say I want to play with this linebacker here. I want to be the quarter flat defender here, and I'll talk about his responsibility in a second. You know, maybe that's one solution that can work, because technically your backside safety is not doing anything, so you can make that solution. You can make that adjustment. Now, I didn't talk about the quarter flat defender. Why is he standing over here? Well, because basically his number 2 is actually all the way over here. Number 2 is actually number 4 now, right? See, if I count it from the left side of the screen, it breaks the system, but at the same time, he's actually covering up where he should be. So he needs to be the wall player or take anything that's coming from right of screen going left. He should definitely take that. That's no problem. And the backside corner is playing Meg back here, so that's no problem back there. All right, so those are 2 solutions you can take. Some people might say, man, this guy up again, but to me, that's kind of breaking the defense. You're kind of really just anticipating one play, which works maybe in a gotta have it situation, but I wouldn't do that all the time. All right, so just be aware of that. Now, there's other plays. This is why I don't want him to be in man-to-man. Let's say they run the double out concept, right? And you say I'm going to man up my backside safety, and this guy runs an out route back here. So now you just basically took this safety to chase this guy, and he's not going to be able to do anything. He's not even going to cover this route. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but it's not what you want. Maybe deep third is probably the way to go. All right. So I just want to make sure you guys are aware that when you play quarters, that the whole setup is different over there. I wouldn't call quarters to that formation, but you do need to have, if you want to, you got to make sure that you have the adjustments in line ready to go. Let me just look at real quick. I just noticed something. I'm going to go quarters versus this one in the middle. Oh, it's kind of a pivot route. I wanted to see what would happen here with the with this corner. With the corner, is he going to jump this? No, he doesn't. It's a pivot route. Never mind. But still, just like in empty 3x2 and in 3x1, you might still want to just take your corner and just meg him on the outside over here. Just make life a little bit easier, okay? And just rock with that. But that's it, man. So look out for that formation. Now, the next one we got to take a look at that really is going to be easy. I just want to tell you, really, this is just memorization. Anytime you see chips in the name of the formation, really, it's just the game, and in real life they do this too. We treat that not like an empty formation. We treat that like it's a back in the backfield. All right, so this formation, this chip formation, is no different than if it was 3x1 and the running back was standing next to the quarterback in the backfield. Okay, so the game treats it the same way. So they're going to treat this like 3x1 formation when it comes to the routes. They're not going to treat it like empty. All right, so let me just prove that to you real quick. Let me see if I can put, okay, so you can put him on a vertical route, right? Vertical, they better treat it like that. Maybe they're not. Let me go back on that. I might have spoke too soon. Let me back up a little bit, because I saw a different example of this, but I haven't seen this exact formation. So we might have just found another little thing here. So this is definitely, there's 5 receivers. They're all out of, nobody's behind the center. But there was another formation, they treated this like empty. Let me just, I'm trying to create it so the safety is going to run after number 2. Okay, I'm just going to do this real quick. I want to see if the backside safety runs over to get number 3. Okay, well, the front side safety decided to stay this time. I'm not sure why. You wish you would do that, and that quad's empty, right? Or even versus, there are empties where he won't pay attention. Maybe let's just put him on I wish I had a corner route by the slot, but I don't. So it's going to be a little congested here, obviously, but let's just try to imagine. Let's see if the safety is really paying attention to number 3. I don't think he is. If he had a route where it kind of worked across. But the good thing is that most of the time these chipper plays, these plays that are designed in the game are check release plays. So there's no, I'll look right now. I don't think there's any plays where number 3 runs a vertical route at a chipper. You see here in this formation, all number 3 and number 2, they're both running to the flat. Let me go to find another chipper play. Even the chipper quad, I'll come back to that. But this one, chipper tight, same thing. Okay. Now, chipper quad, this is the one that I was looking at yesterday. This happened in a game. This is the one that they're treating like 3x0, like 3x nub. So that number 4, Barkley, they're not going to treat him like a receiver. So this is not 4x1. All right. But again, the game doesn't even really allow him to go vertical. But let me just double check this. If I did do some craziness like this, which is just unbelievably hard to cover, let me just make this a little more simple. Okay. Let's just see if this could become a problem. Yeah, they're not covering Barkley there either. Okay, so the problem still arises, okay? So let me go back on the chipper statement. You still have to be careful of number 3. And really, it's all about if a user wants to try to do this, okay? And especially if I had 4 verticals going down the field, but I'm just going to do it at a 3. You can see here that the safety on the left side of the screen is actually not paying attention to Barkley. I can't show you because of the damn pressure, but they're not paying attention to Barkley, okay? So this is the same problem. You would have to do the same thing that we talked about versus 4x1. But if people come out and run these plays stock and don't make any audibles, which I know in the Madden world is asking guys to play straight up or hard, but you see how all the number 4s, they're all just going to the flat. Nothing here. He runs across on this one here, so it's kind of easy to get aligned to if you just play it like that. But because of the world that we live in, you're gonna have to probably use our number 4 and just watch him and see if he goes vertical or not, and just double check it yourself. So I'm glad we did that. I thought that wasn't going to be a problem. Ended up becoming a problem. So that's why we do this. All right. But just remember, empty 4x1. Some people call it a 1-4 split. I like that name. I've heard guys use that in the coaching profession, 1-4 split. They just speak about it from the opposite point of view of about the distribution of the receivers as they line up. They just talk about the 1 first and then the 4 on the other side. But that's where we are at. Hold on, let me just also see if I have one last thing here. Let me just show you some little bonus material. Okay, so if we get this formation, and for some reason they motion the back over, or they have formations out of trips where the back is aligned like this, right? And they decide to go something like that. This is still technically a 4x1 formation, okay? This is 1-4 split, as they will say, all right? So there's 4 guys to the right of the center, including if you include the running back. Let me just see. I doubt that the backside safety is going to come get this. The front side safety actually came over there and got it. I don't know why. I guess he didn't cover number 2. Let me see that one again. Make sure I'm in quarters. But there's a potential that if a running back's in the backfield and he goes vertical, all right, that this could continue. This could be a problem as well. I did actually put him to the line of scrimmage. Some people know this little trick. I did it by accident right there. But nobody's really going to cover him. But for some reason, the safety is being occupied over there. He's not being eaten up by number 2. But that's something you got to watch out for as well. So anytime you see 4x1 formation, and this to me is another version of it, I'm going to call it a 1-4 split right now, then this is a problem as well. You got to always watch that running back and watch out what he's doing, okay? Or if the running back flares out, and this guy goes vertical, let's see if the computer plays this. Let's just test this out right now. Let's see if the backside safety sees this guy as number 3. Okay, it looks like he's kind of helping out there, but just got to be careful of that. If you guys get beat in that stuff, man, hit me up, talk to me. We'll try to fix it together. It will be the group of guys that want to play quarters, but you can make the adjustment. As long as you understand how to make the adjustment to certain formations, you can still play quarters to spread 4x1 sets, all right? I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace.